I know the level of anxiety you have just needing to click on this video. Gleeoks are massive legends of the sky, and no, I don't mean that in a good way. They're not just fire, frost, or thunder Gleeoks, they're all three combined. The ultimate headache. The most formidable, deadliest, multi-headed nonsense monster in the Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. This beast got wings big enough to throw shade over half of Hyrule. The firehead spits devastating fireballs and beams of flames. The ice head launches giant ice projectiles, and the thunderhead's got lightning bolts for days. Oh, and don't even get me started on the wind gust, because apparently being an elemental nightmare buffet wasn't enough. But it's not as bad as I just made it sound. If you prepare yourself right, hang tight for 5 seconds and I'll show you how to take down all 3 King Gleeoks just like it's another Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, that all probably sounded super clickbaity, right? But it's not, I swear. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know I would never. Honestly, the prep and the travel are harder than the actual battle, so we're gonna go through our checklist like responsible adventurers. Step 1, clothes. You're gonna need some serious cold resistance gear because these guys live way up in the sky. One's in Hebra, one's in Gerudo, and the other one's right above Eventide Island. And as you can see on my map here, they're all inconveniently far away from everything. Nintendo really wants us to work for this, as if defeating them wasn't hard enough. But don't worry, we got this. Step 2, we're gonna need some Zonai materials. You're gonna need a flying machine to even reach these overachievers. I used my trusty 3-fan cart, yes. It's exactly what it sounds like. 3 fans angled just right on a cart with a steering stick, and I added 3 batteries for safety. It's beautiful chaos and it works. I'll link my flying machine video for the curious engineers out there. Step 3, aim. We've got 3 heads to shoot at. It's a circus out there, guys. You've got options and I want you to bring all of them. Regular key size for basic homing. This is extra optional. Elemental key size for bonus damage. I didn't actually use any of these in there, but I just wanted to mention it. And I also big time recommend going full try hard and farm Gibdu bones for maximum damage. These are my big keys here. Key size and Gibdu bones. Make sure you bring plenty. And if you're farming, remember to force blood moons to reset enemies faster. And I've got a video for that too. Remember, everything's going to be linked below. But ammo isn't enough. You're going to need bow strength. Multi-shot bows. 3 or 5 shots are your best friends. And you can find them in a few chests around Hyrule if you haven't gotten them yet. Remember, they don't respawn. Or you can take down a Lionel if you're feeling spicy, and I've got tips for that fight too, also linked below. And don't forget, you can buff your bow once per blood moon by feeding it to a rock octorok in the Elden region. Free weapon tune-up, why not? All you've got to do is place it on the ground near a rock octorok. He'll chew on it for a little bit and spit it back out at you. Then you just go reset a blood moon, come back and do it with your next bow. Easy peasy. And if none of that sounds appetizing, you can also go grab the Great Eagle bow from Teba in Rito Village. And if you haven't done the Legacy of the Rito side quest yet, I've got you covered there too. Just craft it with some wood, a swallow bow, and a few diamonds, and boom, instant multi-shot. It's strong, fast, and durable. And if you need diamonds, I've got videos for farming and duping, because why suffer if we don't have to? And if you need help finding those chests with the Lionel bows, you can check the Zelda Dungeon interactive map, and I'll leave a link for that as well. Alright, step 4, for melee time. We've handled the pew pew part, now let's prep for the stab stab. I'm using the upgraded Master Sword, and if you want yours upgraded too, I've left links on how to get and enhance it. And before anyone goes and judges my other ridiculous weapons, don't worry, I have those saved for someone special. Then, just fuse the strongest horn you've got. The first time I did this, I slapped on a silver Lionel horn, and wow, that fight went fast. The others, I did use a silver boss bokoblin horn, but if you want to get Lionel parts to make this fight a little bit easier, the video that I have linked below does make the Lionel fight go pretty easy. You just need a lot of puff shrooms. Alright, next step, step 5, safety snacks. You're going to want a good attack up meal. My favorite recipe, bananas, razor shrooms, and eggs. Delicious destruction. You can use attack up meals or defense up meals. Trust me, it's a vibe. Alright, step 6, shields. Last but not least, don't skip on shields. You're going to need a full inventory of them. And you can do this the hard way or the easy way / fun way. I, of course, chose the fun and pre-attached rockets to my shields. This makes it way easier because if the King Gleeok can fly, so should we. That's going to be our game changer. If we let that thing gain too much altitude, yeah, we're gonna die. Game over. All right, now that was a lot of prep work. But trust me, it's going to turn this nightmare into a manageable dream. Having just a few of each item on hand makes a huge difference. Alright, let's finally go get started. The King Gleeok in Hebra was hands down the hardest to reach, so we're kicking things off there. This guy is way up high, like I can see my house from here high. So make sure that you are in your cold resistance gear unless you want to become a Lynxicle. Alright, make sure that you're geared up. You can fast travel to the Rospo Pass Skyview Tower to get to the Sky Island in the West Hebra Sky Archipelago. Unless you've already completed the Ija'u Shrine. In that case, lucky you, you can just warp straight there. And I'll link that shrine below too. And once you're up there, let's build our flying machine. I recommend slapping on at least 3 batteries because even with the 3, I was running on fumes. Used up every energy well that I had and still needed an extra boost. This thing's a power hog. Now aim toward the island. It's basically behind the shrine. But make sure that you go almost straight up or you're not going to make it. And if you don't want to go do the straight up thing, there's a little lower platform that you can bail out on. Glide over to it and you can ascend up. Just be ready to fire off a rocket as soon as you pop topside or you're gonna regret it. And that's not a threat, it's a promise. Alright, it is battle time. It is the King Gleeok showdown. The secret sauce to taking down a King Gleeok is the same as any other mini-boss. Don't let him do his primo moves. Assuming you're starting from the air with your multi-shot bow equipped, start by shooting him down with key size. You'll need 3 shots, 1 for each head, and they'll home right in like little chaos-seeking missiles. 3 shots per noggin should drop him. But if not, just keep peppering him until he face plants. Once he's down, safely drop to the ground and start wailing on him like he owes you rupees. When he starts getting up, quickly activate your rocket shield and go skyward. Now, you gotta decide if you want to keep using key size or switch to something beefier like Gibdu Bones. Gibdu Bones hit way harder, but you'll have to aim manually. Luckily, if you're using the Great Eagle Bow, you've got a straighter shot and a longer range. Chef's kiss. From here, it's all about rhythm. Shoot, drop, smash, rocket, back up, repeat. The goal is to keep him from unleashing his multi-elemental nightmare attacks, because once he does, defending becomes a hot and cold and electric mess. So stay high, use bullet time, and rely on key size if he gets some distance. But it's gonna keep being the same thing. When he's up in the air, shoot him in the eyes until he's down. And once he's down, whack him until he's ready to get back up. And once he's up, same thing again. It's just the same repeated pattern. And when you finally do take him down, it's time to enjoy that loot. King Gleeoks drop wings, horns of each element, and some guts. And here's the kicker. King Gleeoks are the only Gleeoks that guarantee Gleeok guts. Except for one flame Gleeok tied to a quest, but that's a one-time deal. And a different video for a different time. Once you've got all of your loot, let's head over to your chest and open up that puppy to collect your Sage's Will. The remnants of a former sage's resolve. If you gather 4 of them and offer them to a goddess statue, you can deepen your connection with the sages. AKA, this makes them a wee bit stronger. Alright, next stop is the Gerudo King Gleeok. And in my opinion, this one is just a wee bit easier. So this one you're going to need tooling. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're also going to need extra stamina for this trip. No ifs, ands, or buts about that either. You're going to want at least 5 wheels to play it safe. Obviously, I know you don't have 5 wheels. So if you don't have 3 wheels already, you're going to need to make sure that you bring extra in your inventory. Because you're going to need at least 3 wheels to get there, but you're going to run out of those 3 wheels when you get there, so you're going to need some more to actually get started. So before you head out, make sure that you make those stamina foods and elixirs, because you're going to need to chug those midair. And if you're coming straight from the Hebra Gleeok, I just want to send you a little reminder to re-up your rocket shield stash, because I forgot once, and I needed them mid-battle, and it really sucked. But it is possible, but like I said, it sucked. Alright, so let's fast travel to the Gerudo Highland Skyview Tower. And once you launch, you're gonna do the hokey pokey all the way and spin yourself completely so that you can start heading south. and then bust out tooling and start gliding. And it's a straight shot. And I'm gonna meet you when you're almost out of stamina because you'll be pretty close by then. All right, time to refuel that stamina. And there's our big scaly buddy in sight. Now let's get this party started. Same deal as before. Start with the key size to get him grounded so that we can get in close for give bone shots. And if you haven't eaten your attack up meal, now is the time. Buff up before the beatdown. Once he's down, go to town with your weapon until he starts to get back up. Then rocket fly back into the air and get ready to aim. You're close enough now to manually aim Gibdo bones right at those smug faces for max damage. Then switch rocket shields as needed and keep the cycle going. Don't let him use those primo moves, I'm telling you. He goes up, we shoot him down. He goes down, we smack him around. Rinse and repeat until he's toast. Then, it's time to collect your loot. Now it's time to head over to that chest. Crack open that bad boy to claim your another sage's will. Put that bad boy in your pocket because we survived Hebra's icebox, Gerudo's desert oven, and now it's time to take on the grand finale. By now, you're basically a professional Gleeok hunter, or at least mildly traumatized by them. Either way, let's finish this. You'll want your usual setup: multi-shot bow, key size, Gibdo bones, rocket shields, and some attack up meals. Oh, and bring some patience. This bad boy sits up on a sky island right above Eventide Island, literally in the middle of Nowheresville. And don't worry, that does not make him special. He's the same as all the others. We can get there from the South Necluda sky. If you already have the Kamaman Shrine completed, lucky you again, just warp there. I'll leave a link below for that one as well. Otherwise, launch from the Rebella Wetland Skyview Tower. Turn your body slightly right, we're heading east. And make your way toward this little island furthest left. But heads up, you gotta pull out your paraglider almost immediately, or you're not gonna make it. And I'll show you where it's at on the map. Once you land, use this spring to hop to the next little island. And then head all the way to the end and you'll see the path forward. Grab that floating block, pull it close and down so that you can hop on it. Then climb up both springs and use them to glide over to the big island with the shrine pedestal. From there, head to the island next to the one with Flux Construct. That's where we're building our flying machine. I'm sticking with my go-to setup: 3 fans, a cart, a steering stick, and 3 batteries. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you need to restock on your attack up meals, now seems like a really good time. Also, if you've been doing the other ones with me, you might want to also double check that you have restocked up on your rocket shields. Once you're ready, aim your flying machine toward your destination. The island we're heading for is about the same level, so you can mostly stay level 2. I burned through all 3 of my batteries and all my energy wells, and then I was able to just hop off and glide the rest of the way with some stamina. Not really a big deal. And then once you get there, You know the drill. Same party as before. Let's start with some homing key size to ground this beast. Then start slashing away. When he takes to the sky, so do you. Keep using key size, or you can switch to Gerudo bones if you're feeling spicy. And when he drops, hit him with everything you got. If he knocks you down, just get back up. That's why we brought a whole collection of rocket shields. Pop one on, take to the air, and blast him in the faces again. Then just keep repeating the same glorious chaos. He drops down, you unload, he gets up, you fly up, bullet time, triple face smackdown, repeat. When he's finally toast, grab your well-earned loot and waltz over to that open chest. Open that bad boy up and collect your Sage's Will. Put that in your pocket because you just snagged all 3 Sage's Will from all 3 King Gleeoks in one go. You absolute hero, you. And if you need any help with any part of this adventure or any other video, feel free to reach out right here in the comments on Instagram, Facebook, or on Discord. I am always happy to help. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. Your support means the world. And if you'd like to join in and get some extra goodies, check out my Ko-fi or Patreon pages. And if this walkthrough helped you out, give that like button a little tap, hit subscribe for more gaming goodness, and spread the word to your fellow adventurers. Got any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I am all ears. Until next time, this is KKJinxx, over and out.